Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode. Today we're going to be replacing the wheel assembly on this 2017 Ford Territory. We're going to be upgrading it to the 2015 Ford Territory SY2 front conversion. So we're going to be pulling this one off and put the new one on. I've got it just over here. I'll show you that soon. So I'm going to be showing you everything that we need to do to get that done, pull it off, get the new one on, all bolts that we need to use. I don't have my tripod, I actually left it in my other car, so I'm going to be trying to video this the best I can. Pretty straightforward job. As long as you've got the right tools, you'll get it done. You should have all this stuff that you need, so I think we just jump into the video and start getting it done. I've got the car jacked up, wheel taken off, that's all I've done so far, so we'll just jump in and start getting it pulled off. Okay, so this is the first bolt you're going to want to start with just before you pull your brakes and everything off, because you are going to have to put your brakes on to pull this off. So this is also the only part of the changeover that you're going to need somebody's assistance. Just to put their foot on the brakes, you're going to need I'm using a 36, I think it is, yep, 36 socket. So that's probably something you might not have laying around. I had to go purchase one of these. That just goes straight over there, and we're going to use the breaker bar and remove this nut straight off. So I'll just get it out now. We'll get a foot on the brake and we'll remove this nut. So we just got that nut off. Unfortunately I left my big breaker bar at my mate's house, so I had to jump on it obviously to crack it. So we've just removed that nut straight off there. If you don't have the one with the flange on it, you will have a washer in there, so just watch out, because if you don't have this flange on the bottom of your nut, you'll have a washer in there. So we've taken that off. So now I'll try and get a view. We're going to come to the back of the brake pads, and there's going to be a nut right there, and there's going to be another one just down here. So we're going to remove them two, and the whole brake assembly will just pull off. We're actually replacing the brake pads on this while we're doing it, so I'm going to be able to do that pretty easily while that's just off. If you normally want to do it, you just undo the top nut and this will just slide off. But because we're replacing the whole assembly, we're going to have to remove that off. So we undo them two back bolts, and this whole piece will pull off and come free. So we just removed them two straight out the back, as you would have seen from the caliper on the video. You're going to need, I'm using a jack stand. The caliper's obviously just going to want to come straight off, so you do need something to sit your caliper on so you don't pull the hoses and that off. So see there, it just comes straight off. It's a bit hard with one hand. I'm just going to sit him, hopefully, straight on top of this jack stand. Yeah, otherwise, yeah, you're going to break this hose, so just be mindful of that when you're undoing that bottom bolt or the top bolt, whatever which way you go, to remember that once that falls, yeah, that's going to come. So now we can also remove that. Oh. And now we're going to start working on the bottom bore joint. So we've got two, we've got one there and one there. And then after we get them two off, we're also going to need to undo this nut, because we're obviously going to be leaving the suspension in. We're going to have to knock out the CV joint. We're just going to hammer that straight out, so we leave that in, and then we leave the top bore joint to last, so that holds everything in. So we'll move on to the next one now. Alright, so the next nut we're going to be removing is this one straight through here, straight through the bottom control arm. Just going to be straight through here. I'm using a 15/16. We're going to go straight through, pull that nut out. We don't actually have to worry about taking the bore joint or anything out. We're going to be disconnecting it from the back next, and we'll get that whole piece comes, because with your SY2 conversion, this whole piece is going to come with your whole new assembly anyway. And the same is going to go with this bottom bore joint. We're not actually going to undo it from there, we're going to follow it up and we're going to undo it from there, because that comes with your new assembly, as you can see them two there. So we'll get to this bolt now and we'll get him undone. So we got him out. I don't know if the time lapse will pick it up or not. So once you get the thread undone and it's about middle way, I tried lifting it up to try and get that freedom, but it wouldn't come. So all I did was got the open ender, put him on there and gave it a smack with the breaker bar, just holding him on there just to knock the bolt out. And then once the thread got there, I just undone it a little bit more and it came out easy. Alright, so now we got him out. I'm thinking I'm going to remove maybe the sway bar link. So that's going to be this one up here. So I'll just get the tools that we need for that now and we'll remove him. Okay, so you're going to need your 18. It's going to go in over the actual nut on the inside. Going to slip him on there. Then we're going to need, if you have a hex set, you'll be fine. I'm not sure what size this is or if it even says what size it is. It's a T30. So we're going to put that inside that nut and we're going to have to turn that obviously clockwise while we're turning anti-clockwise with the top, or vice versa. I'm going to try and get this on camera, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to because of how high this is up and it's just in a shit spot. So I'll try and do it, but I'll see how we go. So pretty much if you look, when you move the nut, the whole thing's going to move. I just wanted to show you that. So what you're going to be doing with the hex is it's going to be holding the middle and you're just going to take off the nut. So yeah, I'm not going to be able to video it. I just gave it a quick try, but it's in a crappy spot and you can't see it. So yeah, it's going to be easy anyway. It's coming off easy, so hopefully it will be easy for you too. Yeah, and that's the nut there. So we've just taken him off there. I actually found it easier to actually put the hex key in there and turn the middle rather than holding the hex key in the middle and turning the bolt around it. It was actually easier to hold the bolt with the wrench and actually turn the actual center. So if you are doing that and you're running into trouble, try that, because it is hard to get the spinner in there and get good movement on it, rather with the hex key it moved quite simply. So that's just a heads up and a little tip. So I think the next part we'll do, because we haven't got much left now, we might as well quickly take off the control arm. So we'll undo that from here. So we'll just get I think we're going to need, I think this is another spinning one like the top. I'll just check it out now. If it is, I'm going to do my best. I'm going to try and video this one, so I want to explain everything the best I can. So I'll check that out now, get everything I need, and we'll skip on to that part. Okay, so luckily for me, I guess you could say luckily, this one's that old and seized up. I'm not actually having to do it. But if you do run into this trouble, you'll actually just put that on there. That's an 18. You'll be turning him, and then if this top part is spinning, you'll just have your, I think it's an 8 I got on there. Yep, an 8 on top of the nut there. You'll see where you can connect it, and you'll actually spin that in the opposite direction to stop it from turning. But luckily, I guess you could say luckily, it could also be bad. I haven't run into that problem, so I can just put straight on and undo this nut and it's not turning. So I'll get this nut off now and we'll keep moving forward. Okay, there you go, simple as that. We've pulled him off. He obviously won't just fall out. We're going to have to get a hammer on there and give him a little bit of a knock to come out. We won't do that yet, we'll do that more towards the end. Because we're also going to have to do it for the control arm. So what we've got left in there now is these two at the back here and the two for the bottom ball joint over there. So I'm going to actually jump under, and I think I'll undo this one first, just get it out of the way. We'll knock out the back one, and we're pretty close to already having it off. So let's jump over to that now. Okay, so what we're doing here now is we've got the 19mm socket on this side. I didn't have a spanner, so I've just put a shifter on this side of the nut. We've just locked it into place by spinning this. We've just got the shifter to actually sit there, so it will just hold the nut by itself. And then we're just going to simply undo this side. It's going to take a bit just to crack that nut. I just gave it a bit of a push and it cracked open. It took about 2 cracks. So we'll get him moved now and get this bolt out and keep moving on. Okay, so there she's sitting there. That's the nut and bolt that came out fairly easy. I just kept unscrewing it. Once the nut fell off, it pulled itself through a bit more, and then I just pulled it out and it actually slipped straight out, so that was really good. So the next one we're going to get is going to be this one. So we got 1, bolt on that side. We'll come around to here, and the nuts are actually in there. So we're going to get a shifter in that side, I'm hoping, or a spanner, and we're going to have the socket on this side to undo it. So I'll just get the right tools we need, and we'll jump onto that one. Alright, sorry guys, I thought it was recording, I don't know why it didn't. We've removed the nut off that side, so you can see it's still sitting in there. We're going to have to give it obviously a bit of a pull to get out, so I'm thinking about just putting the spanner behind it again and just giving a bit of a knock to help it get out. So I'll do that now. We'll knock him out, and hopefully there's not too much more to go and we can pull this whole assembly off. Alright, yep, there she is. She just knocked it out with the spanner. 3-4 taps came out. Surprisingly, nothing ever goes straight with cars. This has actually been quite straightforward. Everything's come off so easy. I'm just waiting for that one thing that I run into, like, shit, how am I going to get this off? It's always that one bolt, but hasn't happened yet. Fingers crossed it doesn't. So we've got all that undone. We've got that undone. We've got all the bore joints undone. So all that's left to undo is we're going to have our ABS sensor at the back here. It's going to be a little 8mm. We're going to have to pop him off. We're going to have to knock out the CV joint, and I think we should be good to go then. We've just got to obviously undo the top one that's holding it all up. So we'll undo the ABS sensor now, and for ABS sensor, knock this out, or try and knock out the steering rack arm, and then yeah, we're pretty much pulling it off from there, so let's get on the way. Alright, so we're going to come straight over the back over here. The ABS sensor is going to be straight down here. We've just got an 8mm socket. Just put him straight on top of the nut, crack him, he'll come out pretty easy. The only part we're going to have trouble with, it's going to depend on your car obviously, and how long it's been sitting for and all them variables, but this isn't going to be that fun to get out. Oh, this one's actually quite easy. So you just twist him side to side and he'll just pop out like that. Now trust me, that doesn't always happen. Sometimes you have to get WD-40 on there, you have to give him a bit of a knock, twist him, more WD-40, twist him. So keep that in mind. If that isn't popping out, don't think that something's gone wrong, you've forgotten something. Sometimes that just does not want to come out. So yeah, we've got him out, we got that down. So next thing I'm going to do is knock out this CV joint. So I'm going to get the hammer now and we'll knock him out. Yeah, okay. I'm starting to get worried. Everything's going way too easy on this. So as you can see, I was using the big hammer. I gave him like one knock and he already started moving. Once again, if that doesn't happen, don't be scared. Give it a bit of a hard hit. Really knock it, because it won't always come out easy. So obviously it's not all the way out, but as we can't knock it back because we don't want to break the CV. So we just knock it back a little bit, wait till we move all the other bore joints and slide it off the CV, rather than knocking the CV too far back. So next thing I'm going to try and do is knock out this one here from the control arm, steering rack arm. So we'll try and knock him out, and then all we've got to do is undo that top bolt and everything's ready to come out. So we'll do that now. Alright, there she is, she's out, so we got her free. As you can see, this is all free pretty much now. Only thing really holding it there is the CV. We've just got to try and remove that arm out of there, but that should come free obviously as we move it. We'll give that back there a little bit of a knock and knock that down, and undo this top bolt, and everything should fall out. So we'll see how we go. Alright, so we're going to be undoing the top bolt now, and hopefully this is all going to come free. I thought I'd do it on the video so you can see what happens. It's going to kind of want to drop, so you're going to have to be careful obviously. So we'll undo the top one now and we'll get it underway. So we've got in here 18. Break it up. We're going to have to start with a spanner, just because of how far out the thread comes. so my bolt's actually a little bit threaded, so I just had to knock the 18 on there a bit. Alright, now he's loose, so hopefully the 18 slip on and just pull him off. Sorry, I didn't mean threaded, I meant stripped, so the actual nut is a little bit stripped. But, yeah, she's come off pretty fine. So I don't know if you'll pick it up on the camera or not. Pretty bad. Obviously someone's done some work on this in the past and stripped that bolt. So yeah, now all we've got to do is this little, you'll have this nut through there, so we just got to knock that, and this is all going to want to fall. So I'm just going to use this. We're going to have to give it a bit of a nudge. Alright, there she is. I'll straighten this back up. That's just the one that was holding the top ball joint in. Alright, now we just got to slide the CV out, pull these two out, and everything will fall down, as you can see there. So all that we've got holding it in now is this back piece. It's a bit of a nudge. Doesn't want to come, we'll grab the hammer, hopefully get him out. There you go. I'll move this one out the way, show you in there, bring the other one over and start putting them in. Alright, so that's it all out. Obviously everything's still fine, CV's still in, sway bar link's still in, all the important stuff that you want left in, it's all still in, brakes still attached, top board joint still in, whole assembly just come free. So all we've got to really do is bring the other one up, attach it straight to this top board joint, and it'll be sitting there hanging how it was just before we undone that. So then all we've got to do is start doing everything back up again. Just when you do put it on this top board joint, just when you bring it in, we're going to try and put the CV straight in, because you will lose room to play, and yeah, you're going to want that to go straight in as well. Obviously it won't be in all the way, you just want it sitting there, and later on you just put the nut on it, and when you're putting the nut on, it will actually pull the CV into place as you tighten it up. So we'll skip on to the next part now. Okay, so as you can see, it's sitting here. This is going to be your top bore joint. So you're going to want to bring that all up and onto there and put that nut back through, and that will hold it. The only thing you can try and get in is this one into there. You will get it in after, so it's not a big deal. The main thing you want to worry about is your CV. So that will obviously just go straight through as you're lifting it up into there. I'm going to try and video that. So we'll just do that now, and I'm going to put it on a jack, I think, and just jack it up into place so I don't have to hold it and lift it right up into place. So that's it. Yeah, we've got the top board joint in, we've got the CV joint through. Obviously I didn't put that in, I didn't put that one in, I left it all out. Obviously you've got enough room to remove it and get everything into where you need. The bottom one hasn't got a actual bottom on it, so we'll actually just slide. I'm just trying to find it on the bloody camera. Where is it? There. That will just slide straight up and in, so that's all good too. And obviously you put the brake pad on, the disc on, before you put the brake pads and that on. I'll quickly just flip the camera around now and I'll have a chat with you. Okay, so I was going to end the video there, but I decided not to. I thought I might as well, just in case, show you how to put it back in. Can't stuff it up, but we'll do it anyway. So all we're going to do is, first of all, we're going to pick up him. Obviously I'm doing that with one hand, so it's obviously going to be easy. We're going to put him in. That's just the way I'm going to do it. I'm going to put him in first, get the nut, get him through, and we'll get him tightened. It's just your one of your bottom board joints that goes up into here. So we'll get him tightened in now, and we'll just get this video underway and as quick as we can explain everything to you, getting it back in. Alright, so we've put that back through. I just knocked it back through. I've got the nut on the back. It's still spinning at the moment. I'm hoping if I just tighten it enough it will stop spinning, but it's not. So we grab the shifter, and this was obviously the one that we done that had the bolt on the back. We'll get a shifter on him. Once you get him tight enough, he'll start thread knotting himself anyway. You just got to get that nut to the point of where it's touching the back. Alright, yep. So now I'm just going to grab my breaker bar. Obviously you want to make sure when you're doing it all up, everything's back up tight. Nice good turn, make sure the nut isn't turning. The nut is turning, so we'll grab the shifter again. Nice quarter turn like that. And now we'll jump on to this one under here. Alright, so we're just going to lift him up. Knock him up into place. We're obviously going to need a little bit of something to knock him up, so I'll just grab hopefully a breaker bar. Knock him up like that. Make sure the hole's lining up. Yep. Going. It's got to go back a bit, so I'm going to give it a knock from the front. Alright, she's lining up pretty good. Try and get the bolt through. Alright, sorry guys, I had to stop recording because where I'm laying, well, I had the phone sitting here recording, but I had to get under here to actually do it. So all I did was I had to get under here and get the hammer up on top of here and just knock it down. That's the most trouble I've ever had with one. Only took me probably about 5 minutes off camera just to get that done. I just hammered it through just then and started recording straight away. So yeah, we've got him through now, so we've just got to put the nut on the other side and we'll keep moving forward. Alright, so we're obviously just doing that nut and bolt up now that we just took off, just putting that back through. Hoping she's getting close. Alright, yep, we've got him in. So now we'll move on to we'll follow this down. You can't see it on camera. It's just up here. I'll bring you over and we're going to put this one through now. Alright, so the next one we're moving on to is this one just here. That goes to the bottom board joint, control arm too. I'm going to try and sit this somewhere you can see. What a horrible spot. There we go. So what we're going to do is grab the one that goes through there. This one has thread on the other side in here, so we don't actually need a nut for this one. So fitting in there as much as we can. A little hammer. Stops, just stop there. Grab your socket. side. Like it's not grabbing. Bit more push. Yep, feel it going through now. Alright, tighten him up as much as you can. If you're not using a torque wrench, as you can tell I'm not, I just tighten it as much as I can by the wrench, then give it at least a quarter of a turn with the breaker bar. And then obviously you're going to want to come back in about a week's time if you're not using a torque wrench and just check everything over. I'd have used this method before on cars. A year and a half later, bolts are still on there, so it's all good. So the next thing we'll do is, we've got the back one on, we've got that back one on. Might do the steering, might do the steering rack one just here. So we'll jump over onto that now. Alright, so if you're having trouble getting this on at all, because they do have that top one where you've got to use the spinner as well, after you take it off it will be a lot harder to actually get it back on than what it is to get it off. Put a jack underneath it and push it up and in there, and then the design not to spin, so then you don't actually need the shifter or spinner or whatever you're going to use on the top of it, and it won't actually, because it won't actually spin, so you can just do it up by hand. And you could do this by socket if you have a deep socket, obviously. I probably do have one in that size, I just can't be bothered looking for it. I already had the spinner here, so I'm just going with the spinner. Oh shit. So what's that, 18? Oh. Alright, so now we'll just jump over and we'll do the sway bar link. Alright guys, so I'm trying to get this on camera for you. Hopefully you can see. So that's the top sway bar link. So we're just going to put the socket over it, and this is the one we're using the hex key for. So we just put the hex key in, and we're actually just going to turn the hex key. It will obviously start to get hard, so now I've gone through that much. Just start doing it by hand. So obviously moving each one opposite way. And you're just going to keep repeating this process until she's tightened up. I'll bring you up and show you. You can see it's coming through there. So I'll just finish this now off video, so you're not wasting your time, bloody not focusing, and we'll get on to putting the hubs and that on. Alright, so now we're going to throw the hub back on and put the brake assembly back on. Pick up the hub. We'll move this jack out the way. And just remember, if you have any questions, answers, or anything else that you want to know, just post it in the comments. Always respond to everyone that comments. I'll answer anything that I can help with too. So just keep that in mind as well. If there's anything you want to know, or actually you want to know about the video, or anything you're not unsure of, just comment. I'll get straight back to you. Alright, so now we've got the hub sitting on there. We're going to take the brake calipers, sit them back on, and do up the two back bolts. But before I do that, I'm actually going to be replacing my two front brakes. So I'm going to do that off camera quickly, and then we'll throw the brake calipers back on. Right, so we just slipped the brake calipers back on. So we're just going to put the two bolts in the back now. Just going to find the right size socket. Alright, shifter. I'll try and bring you behind and show you putting it back in. Alright, so now we just got to try and line brakes up with their holes. It's always fun on cars. Right there. This bloody caliper wants to keep moving. I mean, disc. Just a pain in the ass because the rotor wants to keep sliding off, so it keeps moving out of the way of the hole. I'll try starting this bottom one. I'm lucky I got the camera there, I can use that. See where I gotta go. As I said, nothing always just goes easy, plain and simple. There's always going to be problems working on cars. Never expect everything to go to plan. Always expect for the worst, but hope for the best. Alright, just pulling that caliper off a little bit. We can see heaps better now, so I can get that in. So hopefully this bottom one will line straight up. I doubt it will, but we'll see. Lay down, check it out. Alright. Grab that socket. Top one done. Drop down into the bottom. Sorry about that sun. Fucking not much I can do about it. It's a pain in the ass. It's not even a sunny day. It's a cloudy day, and still got glare and everything everywhere. Actually done the other side yesterday. It started raining. It was the biggest pain in the ass. Trying to rush and get it done. And then I thought, you know what, I might as well make a video on this. There's going to be some people out there that are going to want to know how to do this, obviously, because of how bad the bore joints are on the territories. Everyone wants to upgrade to the SY2 fronts. So yeah, so we've got him on now. Brakes are on there, got the new pads on. I'll bring his around the front. I only got one last bolt to do, so. Hey guys, so sorry, my phone actually went flat. So as in the last part of the video you just would have seen, I was doing up the CV joint nut and putting it back on. That was actually the last thing we had to do other than putting the ABS sensor back in. So that's everything that you're going to need to know. You just got to put that sensor back in and put the 8mm bolt back in. Sorry that I couldn't video the last part of it. My phone just went flat and I couldn't get it finished. I hope the video helps you. I hope you like the video for me. I appreciate every like, every subscribe, every comment I will reply to. We're going to have lots more videos coming in my next video. Got a big announcement for my car too, and another surprise about my car which is just broken down again. That will be in my next video. But the car just got sponsored too, so we've got some good mods coming and some new products coming out, also by Ants Performance. They're sending us some products, so we're going to be doing some videos for them, and they've also got some new products coming out we're going to be doing videos for. So if you subscribe, hit that bell, you'll get notifications for all my videos. I hope this video helped you, and I'll see you all in my next video.